Do you think that any Prime Minister and economist who has chalked up $750 million in cost overruns should be coming to you telling you about experience and don't change course? You mean you're going to allow them to chalk up $2 billion in cost overruns? Millions of that has made its way into the pockets of friends of the Barbados Labour Party, and I dare say tonight, friends of the Prime Minister. And that is why I have a problem with the Speaker of the House of Assembly, because I wrote him a letter about names that I wanted to call in the Hardwood debate, and he denied me the opportunity to call them. Criminal. But you know what he also did? He passed on my correspondence to the Prime Minister. And all kinds of people in this country have been called since then to find out what I know about this body and what he was going to say about that body. He is worried that I will produce a check. No, that I could produce so many. He should be worried, because anytime a Minister of Finance who has to license banks in Barbados as Minister of Finance can receive a direct contribution in his name in excess of the statutory limit that a candidate should receive as contributions to his political campaign, and not declare it, and he didn't declare it, then that information should be handed on to the Director of Public Prosecutions. But I am not going to send it there, because I want to say this tonight. The only reason why I never handed the information that I received in relation to Hardwood Housing Factory to the Director of Public Prosecutions in Barbados is because in a private capacity, the Director of Public Prosecutions was acting for the trustees of the Panama estate who own Fort Hill Plantation in negotiating the granting of land to Hardwood. So I want you to understand the level to which this Barbados in which we live in has sunk. So when you hear the Prime Minister saying I should pass on that information and he is doing an investigation, why do you think he is not doing an investigation? And I have nowhere to turn. The girls who were sexually assaulted have nowhere to turn. The Barbadian workers who are being paid less than the illegal workers have nowhere to turn. The standards, the morals, the entire integrity of persons in public life in this country at all levels has been so perverted by this government that people really don't know what they are supposed to do. And I do not blame people sometimes, because I realize that no example has been set. Anytime a Prime Minister can get a statutory corporation to sell him land at West Terrace in St. James at a price less than the average citizen has to buy it at, and then signs a conveyance which says that he must not fence off that land, and he himself said he bought it not to improve his property, he bought it because it was just a vacant lot, and then he fences it off, landscapes it, and now he says he's growing sweet potatoes on it too. None of you can do that. None of you can do that. You can barely get 5,000 square feet, and as I said already, if you put up a dog pen, all the rest of the land is taken, a clothesline, a yard wall, and all you can grow after that is a lime tree. Billy Miller said you can't grow up on setting and snow on the mountain. That was what her speech was about in the House of Assembly on Tuesday. But ignorance will always find its level. She said the pawpaw is family to the snow on the mountain, and that's family to the... She had nothing to say. That is family to poinsettia, and you know she was going to buy poinsettia and pet the way when they're done. I have never heard such arrogant nonsense coming from the House of Assembly. And I realize that when the Democratic Labour Party is not in there, they cannot raise the level of debate to anything that is intelligible and sensible, and that is in the advancement of the people of this country. So I was talking about the $750 million. You know how many houses we could have built with that $750 million? And they say too that we could have built a hospital. And I'm saying we could have built it with 2/3 of that $750 million. And therefore you need to look at what is happening in your country. Analyze what this government is doing. They want to hold an election right after Christmas. Don't fool yourself about what is happening in Barbados tonight as I speak to you. And I hope that after all the merriment, that the people who cannot get houses in this country will remember the Barbados Labour Party. And the fishermen who cannot fish, because this government is more concerned about drilling oil than feeding our people and giving the small fishermen in this country an opportunity to earn a living. And the people who, as David Essex said, cannot get hospital services. And the people throughout this country who are being frustrated and turned around and turned back by an administration that does not care anything about you. And my simple message to you, the people of Barbados tonight, is that this country belongs to you. You have the future of Barbados in the palms of your hands, and you can crush it or you can give it an opportunity to survive. And the next election is not about David Thompson or Owen Arthur. I am not looking for a fan club. I am looking to do something on behalf of the people of Barbados along with the candidates in the Democratic Labour Party. So it is not about the personalities, but I'm saying to you that a vote for the Barbados Labour Party is a vote for more of the same thing that you have been having for the past 13 years in this country. And I know that many of you in this audience tonight can tell the hard luck stories, but there are many people in this country that can talk at the upper layers of our society about how they have prospered and benefited under this Barbados Labour Party administration. So that we are bringing our series of meetings to a close tonight, and I send a warning to the Barbados Labour Party that they can keep the Parliament. The Democratic Labour Party is on the streets of Barbados. We will be back either in Independence Square or here next Friday night. Caroline Davis and some other gospel performers, I urge you to bring out your families and join the Democratic Labour Party, because we want to say thank you to you for coming out to our meetings and listening to our message, and we want to share some fellowship with you next Friday night. So I'm saying to you tonight, Barbadians, it's time for change. That each and every one of you have a duty to be part of that change. I'm also saying to you tonight that Barbados, this country needs you now more than ever before. Vote for Barbados and vote for the Democratic Labour Party. Thank you very much. Have a good Christmas. God bless all of you, and good night.